Yes, Fred. Hopefully so, if I can get this thing to cooperate. Are you all able to hear me now and see my desktop? All right, I think that is an affirmative. Hey, Fred. Hey, Marco. Let's see. Ground Fog. Appreciate y'all being here. Mark Parks, thanks for being here. Budget Guy, thank you for being here. I had one of the gadgets that one of my mini gadgets is ham radio, and I was at a ham radio meeting just now, and it went a little longer than what would normally have been. So I apologize for um, getting here a little bit late. I think TKE is usually a little bit later though. So anyway, I don't guess I can really blame him though. But the good thing is, unlike last week, we are actually back on regular power. It came on Sunday evening, and we're able to go about our somewhat normal everyday lives now. We were out without power for, I think it was 9.5 days. Satisfaction, thanks for being here, man. And I'll try to play with this StreamYard and highlight some stuff. I actually got that in last week during our power outage. For those of you that may not know, I live here in upstate South Carolina, and we were affected by Hurricane Helene. Power went out was it the morning of the 28th, I think, and came back on the 6th at 6:30 p.m. That's the longest I've ever gone without power here in the United States. So that was interesting. That was different. And part of our discussion at the Ham Radio Club tonight was what we could have done better, or how we could be of assistance to our communities and each other. So it was an interesting conversation. All right, Kathleen, appreciate you being here. And it's going to be a little bit easier for me if I go and get a mouse, because I didn't. I came straight in and connected up. So let me run grab a mouse right quick. I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. All right, I may have a mouse here that will work. Instead of running to the other side of the house, I got one out of my bag. And let's see if I can get this thing to work without crashing everything here. All right. Hey. All right, good deal. Fred, the Blaurock was put it on the channel early on, and I ended up selling that Blaurock to a friend of mine. I with the stipulation that if he sells it, it comes back to me. I think that's how it went. But Fred, I actually carried the mutt, I carried the Royal, and I carried the Strix today. I normally carry 2 or 3 knives, and those are the 3 that I did carry today. Yeah, Blaurock is really cool knife. I got that one 3 years ago, I think, at Blade Show. I think that was the one that's pictured on my channel is number 55, if I'm not mistaken. All right, Fred, what are you carrying? Mark Parks says he has his Horntack. The budget guy says he's got the QSP Vault, Gerber, Air Ranger, and an SRM 9211, and I'm not sure what that last one is. What does making it star? Does that put it to the top? I'm playing around with some settings here on StreamYard and trying to figure out what they do. So, not a big deal. All right. Let's see if I've caught up on everyone that I've recognized. I think so. Fred says, today I had my Devo Stout, Grumball Russ, and Gavco Custom. Nice. Fred says he just pulled out his Strix since I had it on the table. The Strix is pretty cool. I did a disassembly video on it last night. Haven't released that one yet, but that one's on loan to me, and I really like that knife. I don't know that I tend to prefer a stonewash blade, and I don't know that they have any of their variants that have stonewashed. Maybe one of you can correct me if so. Great Scott Minis. Scott, I think I saw a text from you, and I haven't even had a chance to take a look at it. So, sorry about that. All right. Kathleen says, I have a Swiss Army knife companion and a Devo nip light. All right. Good deal. And yes, Scott, this is one of those after hurricane streams. Last week was interesting, having it on the generator. And I wasn't even prepared, so it's a fine mess here on the table. I came in and booted the laptop and went and told my wife hello since I just got home while the computer was booting up. Strix is hard to find. Yes, it is. I couldn't get a custom Strix, so I got a plain Jane and had the handle and blade lasered. I would venture that would be pretty cool. Fred, if you could check out my Instagram, send me a picture of that one. And if you're able to do that, I'll switch over there and do a screen share and show it off for you. I would venture to say that's pretty cool. And I think Greg's supposed to be at a blade show here in South Carolina next month. It's part of CanCon, and I think they're doing it only one day. I think Vero and maybe Brian Brown and some others are supposed to be there, and I think Greg's supposed to be there. I sent him a message to find out if he was going to have any of the Strix with him, but he may have zero stock on those. I don't know. So I actually showed the Strix to my nephew, and he's wanting to get one, and showed it to a friend of mine today in the town that I work in. That he also likes knives and has loaned me a few. Knives to disassemble, clean, and review. Okay, Fred. And yeah, I could do that. I could probably do that for you. Just hit me up on my Instagram. It's the same Help with Gadgets on Instagram. That shows about 40 minutes from me, I think, thereabouts. So seeing as I'm kind of sort of interested in the other part of it as well, and I just saw a message pop up, Fred. So yes, you did find me. I thought that would be a pretty interesting show to go to, and then the extracurricular activities surrounding that as well. So I think that would be really cool. All right, other folks that are in here, if you haven't listed what you're carrying today, please do so. Also, make sure you, if you haven't subscribed, I really would appreciate it. And all right, Fred said he sent me a link to the lasering, and let me see if I can't switch over there and pick that up. Let's see. Didn't have everything started up because I was just running in here, but give me just a second and I will find that. Do have a request there. And oh, Freddie. I think I know who you are now. All right. All right, Fred, I'm not seeing the link yet. It may not have came across. Send that one over again, and I'll click on it. All right, I know Great Scott Minis is down in this area. I went right past his house today. Anyone else in the hurricane affected areas? Post that up. Hey, Kevin Snyder, and he's carrying the Kaiser Land today. And thanks for being here, Kevin, if I didn't say so already. I actually did a disassembly and cleaning on the T6000 last night. That was quite interesting. There's some very small springs inside that that push this this lever back and forth. This actually actuates the pins here. These pins, if you push them in, they keep the blade from closing. But if you push that switch right there, it pops those pins out. I don't know if that's showing very well. It may not be, and I'm not on the other screen. Let's go ahead and switch over and take a look at the lasering. All right, yeah. Let me pull that up. Where'd StreamYard get to? And let's do a present. And I want to share the screen. I want to share a screen. I want to do. Got too many tabs open. And I don't see that particular tab. Those are Brave tabs. That's not the right tab that I want. All right. Bear with me a second. What I'm going to do is actually copy that from the other browser over to this browser so that I can more easily show it. I'm cooking with gas now, y'all. Hang on. Just a moment, and I'll have this up. Maybe. There we go. All right, here we go. So that looks really good. I like that. That's it kept the Sparrow logo there. The design on the scales looks really nice, and the design on the blade's really cool too. That's pretty neat. Thanks for sharing that, Fred. Very cool. Very cool. All right, let's see if I can't switch back. Da-da-da. All right, good deal. Thank you for sharing that with us. All right, let's see if I can stop screen sharing and bring that back up. Good deal. All right, Fred. Just contact me about the other, and we'll see if we can't work something out. Have a good night. And that was really cool. That was a really cool knife. The Sparrow, he's made a couple of versions now. I think there's been a V1 and a V2. But the way it, the physics of it opening with the front flipper are really good. Really crisp. And this works, works well on the reverse flick as well. Neat blade shape. Comfortable in hand. You can choke up. And when you do this, your thumb falls right onto this little ramp right there. All right, Mr. Eddie, I've asked about trading for that knife. It's pretty ugly, kind of beat up. all that kind of good stuff. So let's work out a trade. I think I may have a knife or two that you might be interested in. But I was actually carrying this one, and that today was today's carry. And no, I'm not trading that one, so not happening. But yeah, this one was interesting to take apart last night. There were certain parts of it that I did not take apart, and you can look at that on the video when it drops and see why. But it's very smooth now, and very cool. Although this is not a knife that I would carry. Most knives, this knife is fairly chunky. This knife is really chunky, and you can tell from the thickness there that this knife, you would be well aware of its presence in your pocket. I'll just say that. But still, it's still a very cool knife. I mean, the same thing would go for this Husky there, or the P&P Grizzly. In my opinion, not a knife that you would want to carry, but still, if you've got it in your pocket, you just got to laugh because it's just so over the top, crazy, heavy, thick, pants dragging down that it's just funny. I carried this one around the house a little bit and would just laugh because you're not going to forget it's there. I'll put it that way. All right, any of you folks that are coming in, if you haven't listed what you're carrying today, do so. Mr. Eddie's probably carrying something really crazy, but really cool. And thoughts and prayers and well wishes to him for tomorrow. All right, I actually have a really good belt. What kind of belt is this? I forget what it is now. But I've got a really good belt, and now I've lost the thought of what that belt is. This would be a good time to throw that in to as another EDC item, but I'm drawing a blank right now. All right, Mr. Eddie said he has a Curtis Custom F3 large. Good choice. And Robo Stevie O says Mr. Ed is carrying a Frost Cutlery Highlander sword. That's a good possibility too. I would not put it past Mr. Eddie. But I'm also not making fun of Frost Cutlery. I had quite a few of those back in the day. That's why he's my hero. Right on, Robo. Oh, come on, Mr. Eddie. You don't know what Frost Cutlery is? It's a maker of fine cutlery. Finer cutlery. What knife is that, Mr. Eddie? talking about this this PMP Aries or this Kaiser, or no, not Kaiser, Concept Shard? You talking about one of those? And yes, I know I've got everything all out of whack here. We're, it's bothering me a little bit too. Those smaller knives were right there in the center, and that just wasn't right. That's a little more even now, I think. Somewhat, at least. Oh, it vanished. Oh, must have been one of those other knives that vanish. And I can't get rid of that knife. Still doesn't stop him from asking about it, though. All right, anything else? Anybody have any other knives that they're carrying today? Frequency Frontiers, KY4GM. He was actually at that meeting that I was talking about a few minutes ago. He's another one of those ham operator dudes. Good to see you, man. You may have noticed I disappeared very quickly after the end of the meeting. I had to get home, and was still a few minutes late getting the live started. All right, question for you fine folks. That Strix is out. Yeah, it is. I'm just gonna take it off the table there. It's not the finest looking knife. It just isn't. So what do you folks think about doing live assemblies? Live disassemblies and cleanings? Is that something that would be of interest, or is that something I should table for a while? Just trying to find out what would be interesting to have on a live. I know it's been mentioned before about possibly doing a sharpening or something like that, and I could do that. And no, I'm not saying right now, Mr. Eddie, because I don't know that I have anything to do a disassembly and cleaning of right now. Oh, don't give TKE a hard time. He tries. I mean, he does have to do some cleanup after batoning with the Grimsmo and all that kind of good stuff. TKE, speaking of TKE is here. What's up, Mr. Fancy Pants with the fancy electricity? I know. I've had a group of these guys checking with me just about every day to make sure that I'm to check and see if the power's back on yet. And thus far, it was not for quite a while. Just had a thought. I could do a disassembly next. I'm not going to do it this week because I don't have everything set up. But this knife actually belongs to my nephew, who is not on here and should be. Just saying. So I could do a disassembly of this. He wants the hardware anodized to a different color. I think he wants kind of a brownish color on it. And so I could technically do that and disassemble, anodize, and put it back together. And that might take a good part of a live. So I may do that and invite my nephew to get on here and maybe make some comments. That way he could be looking at it, and if he doesn't like it, we could the anodization to a different color maybe. So that's an idea. Hey again, Ground Fog. Appreciate you being here. Mr. Eddie says, TKE never touched a sumo. Have you not had a sumo, Mr. TKE, have you not had a sumo or experienced a sumo? And Mr. Eddie, I actually had, I actually did change the one I had. I had a purple sumo or purple hardware sumo and changed it to teal. Personally, I thought that looked pretty cool, but that's not the colorway that my nephew's wanting on his. Oh boy, I'm not going to say this, but I'll pop it up here and let y'all read it. These guys go at it just about all day in a chat. And Robo, that could be. I think there was discussion about taking a Grimsmo apart this morning. I think something about figuring out what size the pivot was. Jim, and I'm not even gonna. Tergliafera, maybe? I probably butchered that. But thanks for being here, man. Oh, no. TKA, do you still have control of your account, or did Mr. Eddie somehow get access to it? Just wondering. Okay, in other news about the dragonfly, and I don't even want to. A Knives and Pizza says, love the knives. Yeah, but have to have something out here to capture folks' attention and talk about. Good deal. Jim, if you're talking about me, I tried. So if you're talking to me, appreciate it. So you guys that just came in, drop in the chat what you're carrying today, and hopefully, if anyone here is in the path of Milton, not mind of Milton in this case, hoping things are well for you and you're getting out of the path if possible. That doesn't look like a good situation from what I'm seeing. And after going through what we've gone through in the last week and a half, I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. So hopefully those folks are safe or getting to where it is safe. All right, drop in the comments down there. Let us know what you're carrying if you haven't done so. What your carry was for the day. And it doesn't necessarily have to just end with the knives. I happen to have a Olight Arcfeld that I carry. I can't pull out the other knife because Mr. Eddie will say something about it. I also carry a Vero Fulcrum, which is very cool, and I've had for, I think it was probably my first Vero product that I owned. And you can tell here maybe that it is used. It is well used. I've actually used that a lot more than I thought I would. But I've got my earbuds if I need those. Don't wear those a lot. Don't listen to a lot of music. Sometimes I do need to use them if I'm in an office environment and listening to a call or whatever. Oh, and I did have that one in pocket today. So I actually had 4 knives on me. Oh, okay. So, Miss TK, what happened to the top half of the dragonfly? Were you trying to baton again? Let's see. Let's see here. Do I have a TKE? Oh my. I do have a TKE sticker here on the table. I also have a Smoky Mountain Knife Works, which is pretty cool. And hey, you guys that have stickers, send them my way. We're about 30. The last time I looked, we're about 30 away from the 500 giveaway, and I need to start compiling some packages, some giveaway packages. So if you've got extra stickers, or if you're a YouTuber and you have a sticker, please send it my way, and I'll add it to the package and mention you on there as well. All right, let's see. Okay, yeah, he probably never did demo concrete. I'm guessing that's not the case. But if you did miss TKE, if you did that, I would really love to see the video. That's going to that's pretty cool. Anyway, did I mention how cool Eddie is? You should all subscribe to him. He is awesome. I'm beginning to wonder what has happened to one of your knives, Mr. Eddie. Now, as a pizza, I'm carrying Lion Steel Nano Purple Haze. I happen to have a Lion Steel knife on the table here today. Not the Nano, though. Jim says he's carrying the Asher TI Spiro. That is a very cool knife. I think I sold mine to Mr. Eddie. I had a carbon fiber one. So it is a very cool knife. All right. TKE says he's carrying the Vosteed Acorn. I haven't managed to get my hands on an Acorn. Olight Arcfell Pro and half of a Herman Dragonfly. I'm guessing that it's the top half of the blade of the Dragonfly is missing, right? Did it meet its demise at your place of employment in the bottom of a oil vat or something? So very cool. And Mr. Eddie says, no Rob Johnson's Lamia Rask Hog House for TKE. And that's a pretty good chunk of knives there that TKE apparently will not get to experience. Waiting for a hurricane is like being stalked by a turtle. Yeah. I can't imagine being in the path of that monster and not being able to get out. We live 3.5 hours off the coast here, and we're not supposed to get hurricanes, but if you've checked out the news in the last few weeks, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee, and I think even parts of Virginia got slammed by a hurricane force winds that came up into into this area. I saw destruction today, the likes of what I have not seen. Went over to a friend's house. I was actually showing him the one of the knives that I hid. That ugly knife that Mr. Eddie let me borrow. Went over to his house to see the damage and to show him that knife. And I mean, just the amount of damage in his neighborhood. The house next to him, the back part of the house had been sheared off by a huge tree falling on the back of that house. And it's just sitting there with the back part of the house missing. And the diameter of the trees that fell, he's very fortunate in his case that none of those trees that fell in his yard fell on his house. So it's just crazy. All right, scrolling on down. TKE is still trying to butter Mr. Eddie up. I'm really curious. I'm going to have to get on the chat after this and find out what happened here. Henry, thanks for being here, man. Says I'm carrying my TI Demco OG scales and backspacer and playing with my new Sage 5 and Rex 121. Very cool. I've got the OG scales on my MSI, and I was quite impressed with the original goat scales. It took it quite a while for it to get here. I will say that. In fact, a lot longer than it was supposed to. But once they got here, I actually had a little issue with it, and it was my fault. Contacted them, sent them back. They fixed it up, and it's good to go now. And then TK says nothing happened. Everything is fine. And then again, absolutely nothing happened. Oh boy. And so Mr. Eddie has reiterated, hide the sticker. That's ugly. Okay, well, technically I did put the sticks across, inadvertently put it across TKE's sticker. And TKE says, I'm telling Cole you said that about the logo she designed. I think it's a cool logo. I've been trying to get my daughter to design me a new logo. Mine is one of those AI produced ones that turned out okay, but I want something that that she's drawn for it. All right, Mr. Eddie says, "Oh, got that American Blade Works Slippy. Yep, got it here." Mr. Eddie, I do have a Mr. Eddie sticker right here as well. So there you go, TKE, adding the Mr. Eddie sticker. And he says his Mr. Eddie stickers are the best. His stickers are only matched by his winning personality and generosity. Oh, I'm really curious now. And Henry says, where's my Mr. Eddie sticker? I may need Mr. Eddie to send. I know I've got at least 2 Mr. Eddie stickers. And I'm thinking I'm going to do 3 giveaway packages when I reach 500. So I may need to see if I can't get another sticker from him. All right. TKE says he has to re-up his passport first before posting the video. This could be very interesting. And but it sounds like Mr. Eddie's also driven towards TKE, so this could be quite interesting. Only an hour away. The plot thickens. The plot thickens. And Robo Stevio says, "Hasta luego, boys." Thanks for being here, Robo. And I think they'll be good, but with Mr. Eddie, TKE, a couple more of these guys, who knows? Who knows? And then TKE adds to it and says, I mean, in my defense, who makes a knife called the Dragonfly that can't fly? I mean, 175-foot tower drop and nothing. Straight down. That's a pretty good distance to drop a knife. That would be a good stress test, though. Did you do it blade open, tip down to start with at least? Inquiring minds want to know. And was it still tipped down when at impact? And yeah, Jim, it should have stuck pretty much in anything. Asphalt, concrete, there should be probably something sticking out of the landing zone. Gray Scott says Tampa to Jacksonville is crazy. If that was the picture you sent earlier, I believe you. Hopefully what I saw was not true. They were saying that a lot of folks were running out of gas, trying to leave, and there was nowhere to get gas. And to be stuck in a vehicle with the storm coming, that's not cool at all. All right, TKE says, I agree, Eddie. Great decision. All of your statements are pure truth and exude generosity in class. I think he's trying to make you feel better, Mr. Eddie, just because. I think that may be. But then he adds in, anyone have an extra machine-wise Sonora blade laying around? So far we've got the Dragonfly, that's the Herman Dragonfly, and the machine-wise Sonora. But in this case, he's just asking for a friend, okay? And TK, absolutely not. Unless, well, the only ones that are mine are these two here and this one. And then that's my nephew's. The rest of them are Mr. Eddie's, so you'll have to ask him about any of these being giveaway knives. I'm guessing probably not, but probably not. All right. All right, Dwayne Letterman, thanks for being here, man. And then Rhodey says, Comic replied with a typing take tonight. They're being somewhat humorous here. Comic Relief with the typing. Yeah, these guys are again. They've been at it all day, and they've come into the live tonight and provided some comic relief for sure. Oh boy, here we go. If I hypothetically welded the machine-wise handle back together, would it still be considered an integral? Just asking, nothing happened. Oh, and typing was TKE. Yeah, we're getting there. Comic relief with the TKE take tonight. See that? I got you, Rhodey. I think. And again, Mark Parks thanks for being here. And so TKE, Rody says he would definitely watch that video. And there's no telling what's going on here. And TKE has added some additional information. He says if both sides of the Sonora handle finally fused back together and the well passed a PT test, technically it's still an integral, right, guys? Huh? That's a good question, TKE. I don't know the answer to that. Great Scott Minis. Scott, have a good night, man. Thanks for being here. And let's see. I'm just reading what they're saying and maybe adding a comment or two. Oh, speaking of which, Sumo. We were actually talking about that a few minutes ago. What we're thinking, or what I was thinking, is that next week on the live, I could actually do a disassembly and do the anodization of the parts that you wanted, and that way you could take a look at it, make sure that you like the colors, and we could make a project of it next week, provided we still have power and all that kind of good stuff. Friendship moderator. Okay, TK, are we talking about the Mr. Eddie knife sticker? Maybe? Neil McKenzie, thanks for being here. Do appreciate it. Oh my. So now we have the Sonora, the Dragonfly, and now the Spyderco Drunken that may be missing. The Sonora may have been welded back together. I think the Dragonfly, something about 175-foot tower, and now we have the Drunken maybe being missing. All kinds of interesting stuff going on here tonight. TK adds additional information. I think hypothetically, if that happened, that it would have hit all kinds of iron and pipes on the way, hypothetically. Did it stick in any of those iron or pipes on the way down? All right, ground fog. What is the big stocky folder in dead center? And I think that would be this. This is the PMP Grizzly, and it's an absolute behemoth. Just huge blade stock, a lot of weight, and I mentioned earlier that this one kind of makes me laugh. It flips. I mean, the flipper works. The whole knife recoils when you load it up and flick it open. It is actually reverse flickable as well. So yeah, that's a nice, huge folder. All right, so Mr. Eddie says that TK is about to lose subs. I don't know. depending on the items that he's mentioned, he might get a lot of views for those particular knives, depending on what actually happened to them. Well then, Carrie, thanks for being here. TKE is keeping us on pins and needles with what may or may not have happened to Mr. Eddie's knives. So it's been a very interesting evening. And Mr. Eddie says that getting up at 4 a.m. is not going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm with you there, buddy. And we've got folks I'm behind a little bit on the chat here. Got some folks saying hello to everybody. So TKE was driving this entire time, and I'm sure he was only texting us when he stopped, pulled off to a safe place, and then has kept us updated with the goings on of his knife adventure today with Mr. Eddie's knives. Oh, no, I thought I was called up, and I don't think I am. TKE means the king of excuses. That's an interesting play on the initials of TKE. And TKE is back. He didn't say a lot. You made that trip in and out of the store really quick. And I think TKE forgot for a moment there that he was needing to keep Mr. Eddie buttered up. So back to the interesting comments. Neil has a better YouTube channel than TKE. I need to check out Neil's channel if I haven't done so, because we got two Neils here. Huh. And that's a good question, TKE. Why would anyone name a knife the estuary if it can't float in a simple vat of acid? Y'all comment on that below. That's a good question. Why would you name something estuary if it can't float? I mean, and acid notwithstanding, just, I mean, float in pretty much any liquid. And I'm just going to skip over that one. Pocket Razors, thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you coming by. And Neil McKenzie says, TKE, some knives do belong in a vat of acid. I think I said hello to Budget Guy. Thanks for being here. And I thought I was caught up on the chat, but I don't think I am. Oh, you guys. Wait a minute. Well, it jumped ahead there. I'm going to skip over some of these comments because I'm just not going to. And then TKE had some additional information. I'm just saying, Mr. Eddie, in my defense, if you name a knife the Norseman, you should make it where it will survive a simple 48-hour deep freezer test. And I would think that most knives might could survive that. And then I think I got another one that I'm skipping. Yes, and Mr. Eddie, depending on the outcome of this experiment with TKE, you possibly may need to purchase some additional knives to so that your collection doesn't decrease in size. It appears. Oh my. Okay. Dwayne, I don't have an answer for that. I can't answer that. They've been bickering back and forth all day long. I don't think it's French for vat of acid. Pretty sure it's not for vat of acid, but I could be wrong. Did I miss something? All right. Of course I did. I'm not even caught up yet. Neil says he has 12 subs and no content. Well, that's no content, but you've got subs. Pretty cool. Weldon Carey has a lot of subs. I think he's I don't even remember, but I think he's well over 1,000, maybe 1,500 now. So apparently TKE has some good news for Mr. Eddie. The Kubi is still in one piece. So we've got Neil McKenzie and Neil Knife Scratcher. Oh, okay. I'm going to skip a few more of the comments there as these guys continue their thing. So if you're interested in the knives that are laying on this table, let's see, I think that one should go to the side over here. I think he's keeping the rock. The Berg. Oh, that one's mine. And possibly this. So if you're interested in any of those, check with Mr. Eddie. This one's a maybe. That one's a maybe there. The Sumo is supposed to be out of the picture over here. That's Austin's knife, and I don't think he would appreciate me selling it. All right, catching back up with the goings on between the two stooges here. The Sonora is now an ultra limited edition with a pretty TIG bead that he welded on there. Okay. Huh. So TKE, it sounds like there's been some modifications to the Sonora. That could be interesting. It could be very interesting. Okay. And it sounds like that he did that modification for free. So what a guy. What a guy. All right. Henry says, sounds to me like someone else has been mistreating someone else's knives, but who knows? Yeah, it's apparently mistreating knives for one person might be doing modifications for another one. And TKE is clarifying that we're speaking hypotheticals here a lot. So, and then I'm going to skip a couple of comments there. The Riot T1 million. The Riot was interesting. I did a disassembly cleaning of it last night, and it was a little bit of an adventure. There's some very small springs in there on very tiny pins that you have to get back into place. All in all, it wasn't terribly bad. It just took a few minutes and some time for me to figure out how to put it back together. I was a little bit scared. What is the one on the left? Are you talking about this one? And I'll hold this one up for a second just to see if that's the one Mark was talking about. While I'm doing so, I'm going to continue on some of the comments. Oh my, okay. Yeah, y'all go sub to Mr. Eddie if you haven't done so. And Mr. Eddie, I think it is that PMP Aries. Man, I am so glad to have electricity, and I was about whooped. But it's all good. It could have been a lot worse, and a lot of folks are currently still dealing with the storm, especially up in western North Carolina, and it's pretty bad up there. And it must be correct for Mark Parks. Okay. All right. The Sonora would be owned by Mr. Eddie. And I think that TKE has given Mr. Eddie the designation of greatest channel builder. All right, I have to ask. Mr. Eddie says that at least I didn't quit like TKE. He sent me a knife in a bag one time. Some assembly was required. Is that true? Hey, Paul Mills, if I haven't recognized you already, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. TK broke the Herman. Allegedly, hypothetically, someone may have broken the Herman. Something about the top part of the blade, but I can't confirm. All right. It was a test. You got a C-. Okay. Not sure about that one. And it looks like we are caught up with the comments. It got out of hand there for a few moments. I had a little bit of a delay. I don't know. I've been working on getting more subs, and I think I don't know. It's just the luck of the draw sometimes, I think. But I may need to talk to you about how to get more subs there, budget guy. Oh boy. So TKE, does that mean there's a box going back to Mr. Eddie soon? Surely you're not going to send it back while he's suffering and maybe under the influence of painkillers. Paul, I think it's probably okay, but TKE has in the past. I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Paul, it's probably okay. It probably didn't harm it. Probably, hypothetically, maybe. And budget guy, I noticed I ended up getting several subs this past week, and I wasn't dropping any videos. During the storm, I wasn't trying to make any videos because the uncertainty of the power situation. We were on generator. Sometimes the lights would flicker, and I just wasn't trying it. Then plus I would have had to edit, and with the power being iffy, I was afraid my computer would die in the process of getting the video ready and saving it and uploading it and all that. And I just did not like to. I didn't want to do it. Plus, I was whooped. Boxes, okay. Boxes. You could pack all that stuff in one box, right, TK? Even if it is a little bit large, even if there's maybe multiple boxes inside of that box, just save you some of the shipping costs. Just saying. Probably. All right. Do we like the idea of doing the sumo next week? Do a disassembly, do some anodization. Does that sound like a good use of a live or no? Leave those comments now since we since we are caught up on comments. But still, you could put all the parts of one knife into a box, and then put the and put those smaller boxes into a larger box to save on the shipment. Yeah, Paul Mills, the Strix is pretty cool. All right, we will try to do the sumo next week. And apparently TKE has got a hold of his passport and has turned south, apparently. So anyhow, all right. Hypothetically there, Henry, yes. And Mr. Eddie is trying to trade a Strix for a brown. And it sounds like TKE's lives may be from a different location instead of the garage on Saturday. So that should be interesting. All right, you guys, we've gone an hour and 15 minutes. So I really appreciate everyone hanging around. Thanks for coming in here and listening to me ramble on for over an hour and not really do anything knife related this time except for encourage and cheer on these guys as they continue their fun bantering back and forth about this. But I'm going to go ahead and close it down for tonight. Again, really appreciate y'all coming. Hope to see you again next week, where we will attempt to do the sumo wherever it got to. It's probably right here in front of me, and I have put it somewhere where I can't find it. Found it. We're gonna plan on taking this sumo, disassemble it, do some anodization. I can bring my power supply in here, and the other materials that I use, and do it on video. Should make for an interesting hour or so. So we'll plan on doing that next week unless something happens. All right, you guys. Again, really appreciate it. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks.